Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new. My name is Michaela. I am a 21-year-old soon-to-be foster mom making videos about motherhood, foster care, cooking, cleaning, lifestyle hauls, all that good stuff. Today's video is going to be about my infertility story. I'm sure you can tell by the thumbnail. But before we get into that, a couple of things. First, you should definitely subscribe before you go any further. We have lots of fun here on my channel, and we're starting this big, huge foster care journey, so you definitely want to be a part of that. So definitely hit the subscribe button, and then also, I'm just going to put this disclaimer out there. I am totally for fertility treatments, going all the way with that if that is what you're called to. I don't want to put anyone down for choosing to forego every opportunity they can to have children biologically. That just wasn't our path, but I'll just get into that. But I don't want anyone to think that I'm against infertility treatments, like, at all. But this story really began when I was about 15. I went to the OBGYN for the first time, and I had been having like lots of back pain and cramping with my periods, which is common with teenagers, and a lot of times they have more pain, but they decided to go ahead and take me anyway. And at that time, she did some blood tests, and they found out that I have what is called polycystic ovarian syndrome. I will probably just refer to it as PCOS. A lot of women have this. A lot of young girls have it. But I found out when I was 15. My side effects were mostly the intense periods and the pain, and also the irregularness of my cycles. That was part of it as well. But another side effect of it is being overweight. And that's not the case with everyone, but it does affect the way your body handles sugar. So in order to maintain a healthy body weight, you have to be on a no to small amounts of sugar and carbs and caffeine. Of course, I had no idea. I just did normal dieting, portion control, and things like that when I was 15, and I mean, up until then, I had always just been a bigger girl, and I would diet, and I was active. I played sports, I cheerleaded, I danced, I mean, I did all of these things, and I was still overweight. Nothing was working. I was doing diets. I continuously got made fun of and bullied about it, and boys wouldn't even look at me most of the time. So it's, it was hard for me because I never understood why I couldn't lose weight, and I just had no clue what was going on. And then come to find out that this is why. I went on a sugar-free, no-carb diet after that, and it made a big difference. I lost about 15 to 20 pounds fairly quickly when I switched, and then, life happens, and you fall off the wagon, and then it's hard to get back on. So up until then, it was not my fault. After that, it's totally my fault. But because I haven't been consistent with that diet, and that's on me. But up until that point, I had no idea, so I didn't realize what kind of diet I needed to be on. So at that point, she just put me on birth control to regulate my periods and hope that it would help with the pain, and it did the trick with regulating my periods somewhat. but I still had a lot of pain, so they decided to go ahead and give me a vaginal ultrasound, which for me, and I would assume quite a few 15-year-olds, is very painful. Very painful. I can't even explain it. And since I've had them, and it's not been so bad, but that initial one was rough. And it confirmed, I had cysts around my ovaries. And at that time, they didn't do anything else. They were like, well, you're a kid. Let's just see if we grow out of it. And didn't grow out of it. Didn't have a great experience with that doctor. She really wasn't too concerned with it. My first question obviously was, is this going to affect whether or not I can have kids? Because I've always wanted to be a mom. And they said that yes, that it could potentially have negative effects on fertility, but they were like, we'll just deal with that when you get older. Let's not worry about it right now. And that's just what they kept saying, and I was so aggravated. So eventually I switched to a different doctor who took it very seriously, and I appreciated that, and I still see her to this day because of that. She did some blood tests just to confirm herself, and she immediately put me on metformin, which is to help regulate blood sugar. And she told me at that time, I was 18, that it could, for a lot of people, they start metformin and it helps with their PCOS, and they're super fertile in that time. So she said that my options were, if I did not want to get pregnant, to go on birth control, and or to start prenatal vitamins in case I did get pregnant. So this was after I got married, so I might have been 19 at the time. Yeah, I was probably 19. And so my husband and I were married, and at that time we were just like, I'm not going to try not to. We wanted kids. We wanted kids whenever we could. So, we started prenatal vitamins, and then she started me on a low dose of metformin, and, we were hopeful, she put it into our heads a little bit, or maybe we just concocted this in our head, but that we would, be very fertile during this time. So, we didn't get pregnant with, the small dose of metformin, so she continued upping my dose until now I'm currently at 500 milligrams 5 times a day. So, yeah, and for those who've not been on metformin, at least it was for me, it was a very powerful drug. It tore my stomach to shreds. It still does to this day. I had to go off of it a few months back just because it was just too much to handle, and this is too much information, but you're constantly in the bathroom. It's constant diarrhea and stomach pain. It's excruciating. And just being on that much of it was just so draining. But after I pretty much capped out on the metformin, she decided that I had told her that we were going to get pregnant, because there was 2 options: either get on birth control or, be okay with getting pregnant or try to get pregnant. So then she decided to start me on Clomid, a low dose of Clomid. For those who don't know, that is a drug that helps induce ovulation. You take it for 5 days out of your cycle. So you start with a small round, and then you move your way up, a small dose, and for a lot of people it works great, and for a lot of people it doesn't. I will say that I had horrible side effects with this. I'm a hot-natured person anyway. My coworkers will tell you that. But I had hot flashes like I've never known. I would sweat all through the night. My face got blood red all the time. And I was so emotional, depressed. I suffer from anxiety and depression anyway, and it just so intensified this. And Needless to say, the first round didn't go well. Second round didn't go well. Third round didn't go well. I was just emotionally drained and physically drained as well. And the side effects were just so intense for me. So, you can only do so many rounds before you have to take a break on Clomid, because it can, after a certain amount of time, it can have cause birth defects. So we had exhausted our tries with Clomid and had no success. So from that point on, the only option was to go to a specialist, and the next step was IUIs, or intrauterine inseminations. I'm sorry, that may not be the correct answer to the acronym, but basically the next step was an IUI. And if you know the correct acronym, or if I'm right, just let me know down in the comments, because it is escaping me right now. But that was a pretty expensive treatment, and at that point, my husband and I were both exhausted and drained, and I know that a lot of people go a lot further and have a lot more of a story to tell about it, but that was the end of the road for us. We are no longer trying to get pregnant. We have devoted all of our time and attention to becoming foster parents, and we've decided that that's how we want to grow our family at this point. And we've just kind of moved past it, and that was a really hard conclusion to come to. And honestly, I feel like it's even harder for some of our family members. They just don't think we should give up, and it's not that we're giving up. It's just we've decided to grow our family different. Because of what I'm about to say is why I gave you the disclaimer that we are not against fertility treatments and going all the way, and IVF and everything, surrogates that you can do. But we just couldn't find it in our hearts to continue and spend so much money trying to have a child biologically, when there are so many children that need homes and loving families and loving parents and foster care. And so we just felt really called there, and shortly after that, we signed up to be foster parents and started our classes, and now we're waiting for approval, and hopefully going to be opening our home very soon. But that's our story. That's my story. Am I sure that it's officially over? No. I don't know if we will continue trying later on in life. But for now, it's not a priority, and it's just we haven't even really been thinking about it, just to be honest with you. We just came to the conclusion that it's just not the time, and we're gonna push that aside and focus on being the best foster parents that we can possibly be. But that is it. That's our story. I know, like I said, that a lot of people have much intenser stories and much more depressing stories. But it's not a competition. But I just wanted to let you guys know what kind of led us to foster care and what our life was like before this. I mean, it was everything. Trying to get pregnant. It was emotionally and physically draining for both me and my husband. So that is what led us to this hopefully amazing start of this journey. I feel like everything happens for a reason, and maybe the reason that we could not get pregnant was because that's not how we were meant to grow our family. Or even if we don't get to adopt from foster care, maybe it was because these kids need help, and maybe we're going to just help that one kid have a better life. So I'm grateful. As bitter as I was about it before, it led me to where I am now which is, I feel like, is a great place. I'm so ready to get started on this journey and help kids and hopefully grow our family. But if that is not the plan, then I'm okay with that too, because even if just for a moment, these kids will be loved, they will be spoiled, and they will know that someone cares about them and that someone will meet their needs. So I'm really looking forward to that. And so that is our journey, that's our story. So if you are interested in keeping up with what goes on in our foster care journey, you should definitely subscribe, like I said before. Also, if you have struggled with infertility or becoming foster parents, let me know down in the comments. Give this video a like. I want to bring so much awareness to foster care and to PCOS and infertility, because it's not talked about enough. So share this video with your friends, whatever you need to do. But that's all I have for you guys today. Sorry it's late, and sorry I have no makeup on. My hair's a mess. It was a work day for me, so but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.